Hello guys, welcome back on today. This is the start of a 5-part series where I rank my top 50 NHL players. Now it's about that time of year where pretty much everybody is ranking stuff, and me included, and now it's the time of year where we're ranking all NHL players. I feel like not right now is the best time to do it. Now I already did top 10s for every single position, but now it's just going to be overall the top 50. So like those lists, I'm going to try and blend past performance and 2018 stats as best I can. There's going to be some more younger players in these lists than there were in the top 10 position players. I kind of learned from that. So there's going to be a hopefully pretty balanced list as well. Now this will be the start of a 5-part series in which I list my top 50 players, but right now we're just doing 50 through 41. And yes, don't worry, I will be doing this with prospects, so stay tuned. And we're going to start off the top 50 list with Logan Couture of the San Jose Sharks. He's a center at age 29. He was drafted 9th overall in the 2007 draft and has been great for the San Jose Sharks since then. In the 17-18 season, he played very well. He had put up 78 games, had 34 goals, 27 assists for 61 points. The overall points was not really to where it was in his career, but the goals were definitely there. I mean, 34 is definitely fantastic. In his career, he's put up great numbers. He's had 582 games played, 213 goals, 224 assists for 437 points. Very nice numbers from him, and ever since he's been drafted, he's been one of the best players for San Jose. And of course, we just cannot forget about the magical 2016 Stanley Cup final run, where he was a big part of it and was one of the main reasons why San Jose got that far. At 49, I have Corey Crawford of the Chicago Blackhawks. Of course, the goaltender at age 33 was drafted a long time ago at 53rd overall in the 2003 NHL draft, and Corey Crawford has taken a little bit of time to develop since that 2003 draft, but he's been a fantastic goaltender in the last decade for Chicago. Unfortunately, this past season, the Chicago Blackhawks, his season was kind of cut short due to injuries with vertigo, but he still had a very decent season. He played 28 games, had a 2.27 goals against average, and a .929 save percentage. He was really rolling until that vertigo came in, and was really dismantled his whole season. But his career has been very good to this point. He's played 409 games, had a 2.37 goal against average with a .919 save percentage. Those numbers are among one of the best in the league too. At number 48, I have John Klingberg of the Dallas Stars, the guy that I have on this jersey I'm wearing, and he's been fantastic for the last few years with the Dallas Stars. At age 26, the defenseman, he's just been brilliant offensively for them in the last couple of years. He was drafted 131st overall in the 2010 NHL draft. Obviously, a fantastic steal looking back on it. The 17-18 season, he had a brilliant year, getting a kind of breakout season for him on both sides of the ice. He played 82 games, had 8 goals, 59 assists for 67 points. In this past season, I got to see a lot of him. I got to see a lot of the Dallas Stars, of course, them being my favorite team. But he really did improve defensively, as his all-around game really was a lot better. And of course, he bring the offense better than ever too. In his career, he's played 303 NHL games. He's had 42 goals, 172 assists for 214 points, and has been a dynamic offensive player in the last few years for the Dallas Stars, and I think will continue to be that way for them. And they got great offensive firepower, and for John Klingberg, he's definitely benefited from that. But he's definitely Dallas's number 1 defenseman and looking to be Norris contender for years to come. At number 47, I have Ryan Suter of the Minnesota Wild. At age 33, he's been one of Minnesota's best defensemen for quite a long time. He was drafted 7th overall in the 2003 NHL draft by the Nashville Predators, and even at age 33, he's still being one of the best defensive defensemen in the NHL. In the 17-18 season, he played very well still. He put up 78 games, had 6 goals, 45 assists for 51 points, was still very solid offensively. In his career, he's played 991 games. We'll get to 1,000 next season, which is great to see. He scored 75 goals, 418 assists for 493 points, and is still a very good offensive defenseman, but of course he is that defensive guy. He still brings a ton of that defense, but really underratedly so, he brings a lot of offense too, has been doing that with the Nashville Predators and the Minnesota Wild for quite a long time. At number 46, I have Marc-Andre Fleury of the Vegas Golden Knights. He is another kind of old player on this list. He is at age 33. Of course, he won the 3 cups with the Pittsburgh Penguins there. He was drafted 1st overall in 2003 NHL draft. Again, a long time ago, but he's still doing very well, and arguably has been his best this past season. In the 17-18 season, he wasn't fully healthy, battled a couple of concussions, but was still very good when he played. He played 46 games, had a 2.24 goal against average, and a .927 save percentage percentage. Absolutely electric numbers from him and the Vegas Golden Knights. In his career with the Pittsburgh Penguins and the Vegas Golden Knights, he's played 737 games at a 2.56 goals against average and a .913 save percentage. And with the Penguins, he was a very average goaltender. Some years he was really good, some years he wasn't. Of course, the playoffs, he usually wasn't that great until that 2016 run, where he was one of the reasons why they won the Stanley Cup in the first couple of rounds. So when he went to the Vegas Golden Knights, he had expectations to be the #1 goaltender. In the playoffs, when he was healthy, he was absolutely amazing until that Stanley Cup final. I definitely wouldn't have had him on this list before this year when he was on the Pittsburgh Penguins, but with the Vegas Golden Knights, he was really amazing and really was a Vegas Golden Knight. He really encapsulated what it was to be a Golden Knight. He was just amazing throughout the ice, off the ice, and I think this past season he really proved that he is that player. At number 45, I have Jack Eichel of the Buffalo Sabres. At age 21, of course, center, he was drafted 2nd overall behind Connor McDavid in the 2015 NHL Draft, which is 3 years ago, but still seems like yesterday. In the 17-18 season, he really did make some improvements on his all-around game. He played 67 games, had 25 goals, 39 assists for 64 points. His career has played 209 games, had 73 goals, 104 assists for 177 points. And a little bit of a problem there that he's had in the last couple of years when he's been in the NHL, the Buffalo Sabres. He just has not really been able to stay healthy for a sustained amount of time. Hopefully next season we see him at an 82 type game season, and I'm hoping that he really does break out because of that. I feel like he already has proved that he's one of the more dynamic offensive players in the NHL, but if he stays healthy and continues to be that way in the next couple of years, he'll definitely rise up this list. At number 44, I have Jonathan Quick of the Los Angeles Kings at age 32, the goaltender for them. Of course, he won the 2 cups with them, and he won the 2011-2012 Conn Smythe Trophy, 2 William N. Jennings trophies, and was drafted 72nd overall in the 2005 NHL Draft. In the 17-18 season, he played very, very well once again. He put up 64 games, had 2.40 goals against average with a .921 save percentage. In his career, he's put up fantastic numbers. 556 games, 2.28 goals against average, absolutely amazing, with a .916 save percentage. And I know it's a kind of an unpopular opinion to have him this high, but I really don't care. Jonathan Quick is my favorite goaltender in the world right now. Not because of him really being the best goalie in the world, he's not that, but his just style is absolutely amazing. I just love that he flops like a fish. It's so entertaining to watch, just his unique style we don't really see too much of nowadays, and it's really fun to watch him play, and it's really fun to watch him dominate, even with that wacky style. It holds him back a little bit sometimes, but I do love the guy, and even though it's a little bit biased, I do think he's a top 50 player for what he's proved to the Los Angeles Kings. And I know some people just hate him, I know some people hate his style and think he's overrated, but to me, he is not that. He's shown that in his career, he's shown that carrying the Kings to 2 cups there, and what he's done so far in his career has been just amazing. At number 43, I have Roman Josi of the Nashville Predators at age 28, one of the best defensemen in that team for sure. He was drafted 38th overall in 2008 NHL Draft, and slowly working his way up into being one of the elite defensemen in the NHL. In the 17-18 season, he played 75 games, had 14 goals, 39 assists for 53 points. His career has played 481 games, has had 78 goals, 214 assists for 292 points. Very great numbers from him, and has been making the case to be one of the best defensemen in the NHL for sure. Now, a lot of people have him a lot higher than a 43. I know, I do understand that for sure, but he used to be one of my favorite defensemen, and this past season I just did not see quite the Roman Josi that I thought I was seeing in the last couple of years at elite defenseman, especially in the playoffs. He just seemed kind of off. Defensively, he was very, very average and very, very not Roman Josi-like, especially against Winnipeg. He just was not really on his game, and I felt like in the playoffs he was one of the hampering things going against Nashville Predators to ultimately lead them falling in the playoffs. And I don't know, I had super high expectations from the Nashville Predators. I had them winning the Cup this past season for my playoff predictions. I thought Roman Josi would be a big part of that, but he ended up being one of the downfalls from the Nashville Predators, at least defensively. Now at number 42, I have John Gibson of the Anaheim Ducks at age 25, one of the best goaltenders in the last couple of years, and has been making that case. He's one of the elite goaltenders in the league, and I know he's super underrated, and he's starting to get that credit that he deserves. He was drafted 39th overall in 2011 NHL Draft. In the 17-18 season, he really did have a breakout year. He played 60 games, had a 2.43 goal against average and a .926 save percentage. His career has played 178 games, has had 2.29 goal against average, a .923 save percentage. Great numbers from him so far, has been continuing to play fantastic with the Anaheim Ducks in the last couple of years. And while I don't think there's many bright spots for the Anaheim Ducks for their future, it's not looking the greatest, John Gibson is one of their brightest guys and one of their best guys right now, and I feel like he'll continue to lead them, at least in the goaltenders side. And for USA, he's definitely their future goaltender and looking to be one of the better goaltenders in the league for the next few years. At number 41, I have Patrick Laine of the Winnipeg Jets, and he's 20, one of the electric wingers in the NHL for sure. He was drafted second overall in 2016 NHL draft, right behind Austin Matthews, and has been making headway in the NHL in the last couple of years. In the 17-18 season, we really saw him break out into the star that he was. He played 82 games, had 44 goals, 26 assists for 70 points. His career has played 155 games, had 80 goals, 54 assists for 134 points. Now you might be asking, why is he this low on the list? Well, let me just tell you real quick. Is he an elite goal scorer? Yes, he is an elite goal scorer. Is he an elite offensive guy? Yes, he is an elite offensive guy. But that defense was obviously not the greatest, and I won't put him as a defensive player ever, but he has some room to adjust. Again, he was the guy that put the goal in his own net, and obviously he has some work in that end. So as an all-around player, Patrick Laine isn't really that. He is that goal scorer, but to me, I want to see at least a little bit of defense from him. And of course, this list does factor in past performance, so it really does. Patrick Laine hasn't had much of a career at this point. He's played 2 seasons, at least full seasons at this point, so he hasn't really proved himself as that elite, consistent goal scorer. I think he has already shown that in the 2 years, but we'll continue to see more seasons from him, and of course, as he gets more experienced, he'll climb up the list for sure. But of course, this is the first out of a 5-part series. We're going to look at the top 50 NHL players. Numbers 40 through 31 will be coming in the next few days. But I want to hear from you guys. What do you think of the top 50, the 50 through 41 so far? And I want to hear what you think of the series so far. So that's what I have for you guys. If you guys enjoyed, make sure you like and subscribe. Again, I want to hear from you. What do you think about the series so far? What do you think about the players I listed 50 through 41? I'll see you guys later. Goodbye.